Hi, and welcome to the 2018 Paper 1 Leaving Cert Order level. We're on question 6 here at the moment. So as always, I suggest you pause the video and give this a go. Okay, just test your algebra and your, I suppose, arithmetic. Now, if you want to send notes I'm working off with the answers built in on the next page, just send me an email at shanetroy@gmail.com, and that email address is in the video description below. So question 6 here says, very simply says, solve for x. You're given, now first thing you notice, it's an equation because it's an equal. Okay, so that's why the word solve is being used. It's just a jumble up of x's, whatever. So let's see, what can we do first? Okay, now we'll go straight to the answer because it's done out nicely. So actually, no, I haven't. What I've done is I'm moving from this step here to the next step, and I'm multiplying those two brackets together. Okay, I think that's all I'm doing. So I'm using a standard method. I'm writing this second bracket out twice, here and here, multiplying the first term into the first bracket, second term into the second bracket. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is make sure that x multiplies by both of these terms, okay, and the 5 multiplies by both of these terms. Common error is to go x by 3x and then 5 by 4 and think that's done. You're only halfway done. Using this particular method here allows you to represent that and not make a mistake, hopefully. Now, the next bit I haven't done that yet, but we'll go left to right again, okay, and we'll do the simplification by removing brackets. So it's x times 3x is 3x squared, that's here. X by minus 4 is minus 4x, that's here. 5 by 3x is 15x. 5 by minus 4 plus by minus is a minus. 5 fours is 20, that's that. Minus 3 into the brackets here, so it's minus 3 times x squared is minus 3x squared. Minus 3 by plus 2, minus by a plus is a minus, 3 2s is 6. And lastly, I haven't done with the 4 yet, that just carries over. Now, if I try combining things here, you'll see that the 3x squared here and the minus 3x squared here will straight away cancel. That's nice. I'm going to combine the x's here, so 15x take away 4x is 11x. Like that here. The minus 20 minus 6 is minus 26, plus 4 is minus 22. That's where I get that. And that's equal to 0. So now it's the equation of one unknowns. We can see our way forward. You bring the minus 22 across, becomes plus 22, going across the equal. And then the 11 here is 11 times x, so when you move the 11 across the equal, it ends up becoming divided because it changes operator. And you end up with the sum 22 divided by 11, which is the equivalent of x is equal to 2. Now, if you wanted to check your answer, if you put 2 into this original equation and put it to the calculator, you should end up with the left-hand side equal to right-hand side, and that proves that 2 was an option. Is the answer, rather. Now, you could start guessing, or have, instead of using algebra to solve this, you could have started randomly guessing, is x 0, is x 1, is x 2, is it minus 1, minus 2. You would have hit on 2 eventually. For no other number will the left-hand side equal the right-hand side, other than the actual value of x. Now, the problem is, if that question had a decimal answer, you're not going to be able to guess a decimal. There's just so many thousands of possibilities. But if it was definitely a whole number, if I had said that x is an element of z or n, it would have narrowed down the search to a whole number. But ultimately, using algebra is something you need to be able to do. It's the bread and butter of math. So hopefully that this should not be a problem to solve algebraically. Now that's part A, is worth 10 marks. Now part B here, this is trickier. Okay, you have an equal. You're solving it. Now it says solution, so that's usually a hint there's a quadratic going to happen. Quadratic always has 2 solutions. But the problem here is there's two algebraic expressions and one fraction. So the only real way to remove this, there is other ways, but is to get rid of the term on the bottom by multiplying on top by it. Okay, so I'll go straight to the answer so you can see exactly what I'm saying. So in order to get rid of the x plus 3 here, I need to multiply by x plus 3. Now, if I do it to one term, I have to do it to every term. So I've done it into all 3 terms. At the same time, I'm going to try to get rid of the x here by multiplying all 3 terms by x. And to get rid of the 2 here by multiplying all 3 terms by 2. So there's a lot going on in terms of work to write down so I don't forget it. But the reason I'm doing all this is that when I come to simplify it, things will start cancelling, and I'll have removed the denominators on all three fractions as such. So if I go ahead and do it here, I've kind of tried to represent it here on the thing, that when there's something common top and bottom, they cancel. So nothing else cancels. The x plus 3's cancel. In the second term, the x's cancel. And the last term, the 2's cancel. Now I'm left with a lot of stuff left over, but now it's linear. There's no fractions. If I go ahead now and multiply these three brackets, multiply what's left, and you get, I suppose, x times 2 is 2x, 2x times 5 is 10x. That's where that comes from. Now I'm taking away all of this. Okay, so be careful. Okay, I'm going to put it in my answer in brackets. I'm just going to worry about this chunk here. Okay, simplify that and take the whole thing away from the first term. So that's now the x's are gone. It's x plus 3 times now 2 times 1 is 2. That can simplify to, in one sense, you could express it like that. Might be more familiar if you can read this attempt at writing. So if you just simplify that, it's 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 3 is 6. I'm still taking that whole chunk of the term away from the 10x. That's why I put it in brackets, because you'll see in a second what's going to happen with that minus. If I just to finish off this bit, if I go across to the far side, the right-hand side, the 2's have cancelled, so you're left with x plus 3 times x times 1. Now, if I was just do that, x plus 3 by x, I'd end up with x squared. That's where I got that from. 3 times x is x. So 3 times x is 3x. Now, if you multiply the whole term by 1, it doesn't change. And by 1 is itself. Again, you just take your time. That should hopefully make sense, okay? So now I'm at a stage where, okay, I have a jumble of x's still, okay, but it's much more manageable. You're dealing here now with your basic algebra, okay? So to go left to right, let's remove brackets, okay? So I'm multiplying the minus by the 2x and the minus by the plus 6. If you haven't put them in brackets, you may very easily think that was 10x minus 2x plus 6 equals x squared plus 3x, which would be incorrect because you haven't applied the minus to both terms within that bracket, and you've gone wrong. Now, you still probably achieved upwards of 7, maybe to the 13 marks, but you've lost some marks, okay? So if I remove the brackets here, I've done that there. Minus by 2x is minus 2x, minus by 6 is minus 6, and nothing else changes because all I'm doing in that step is removing brackets. I come down to the next step here now. I want to hopefully recognize that this x squared is here. It's not being cancelled. So I'm going to end up with a quadratic. But we said that already. We said find the solutions of. Okay. So if I bring everything over across to one side, I end up with 0 equals x squared. Now, plus 3x minus 8x is the same thing as minus 5x. They can combine together. And nothing changes to 6. So the only thing that can change here or can be combined is the x values. Now the last thing then I just kind of written it out in a simplified form. I'm going to have to try to solve that. Now again, I could use the quadratic formula, the minus b formula, or I could solve this the fast way. And in the fast way, or my method, I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give plus 6, but add to give minus 5. So if you write out all the factors of 6, the only ones that would make sense is minus 3 and minus 2. Okay, so the two factors multiplied together give 0. And you can now solve for them. Same principle as in question 5 we talked about it. And I've done that over here. So I've written x minus 3 equals 0. So therefore x is equal to 3. X minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore x is equal to 2. So I found the factors here, but I found the value of the factors by that last step. Or in this case, the solutions. Now that's part B. It should be the end of question 6, yeah. So see you on question 7. Thank you.